Tonight, a rare look inside the heart of Parliament Hill.
Certainly the largest and most complex heritage rehabilitation of its kind.
The center block opened up to visitors as part of Doors Open Ottawa. A terrifying attack for a local teen.
He said, you have to pick me up. I was attacked. And he says, my leg, it's hurting.
Coyotes in Orleans leave a 14-year-old wounded, raising safety concerns in the community. Plus,
always talk about shawarma, and it's my favorite food. I only eat shawarma.
Ottawa embraces its title of Shawarma Capital of Canada. The annual Shawarma Fest returns to the ByWard Market with sights set on a world record. Good evening. We begin tonight with a rare peek behind the curtain at the massive project on Parliament Hill. Doors Open Ottawa giving a closer look at the multi-billion-dollar upgrades of the centre block and the new Parliament Welcome Centre. CTV's Natalie Van Rooy is back from this site. She joins us now with the very latest. Natalie.
Austin, there was a lot of interest from the public on this project, which has been hidden from the public's view the last few months with steel scaffolding. But today, the doors were opened up, giving visitors a behind-the-scene look. A look at the massive hole being dug on Parliament Hill, usually hidden away from the public as major construction continues on the centre block and a new Parliament Welcome Centre.
Certainly the largest and most complex heritage rehabilitation of its kind in Canada and actually maybe even in the world.
The project kicked off in 2018 and is currently scheduled to be completed in a few years, with a price tag ranging between $4.5 to $5 billion.
The plan was always for the construction to substantially be completed around 2030, 2031. It's going to take some time for the parliamentary partners to move in, do the testing, do the dry run. So that's why the opening date of 2032 is still what we're thriving for. Have a theater.
On Sunday, the public getting a peek behind the curtain as the project is usually blocked by steel scaffolding.
I actually traveled here from Toronto to see Doors Open Ottawa. I've seen it in non-construction times. The first time seeing it actually, what it looks like with the construction on.
It's a complex site with a focus on restoration, modernization, and maintaining tradition, piquing people's interest.
The history, the architectural decisions, how they're modernizing it for, the new century compared to when it was built.
Parliament's restoration reaches up to 2 stories underground. Experts on site to describe the methods used during the work.
The most fascinating was also seeing how they're using some of the old technologies for this. So we saw the tools that they're carving with.
Work continues every day.
Between 800 and 900 workers on site every day. So construction is going as anticipated with many challenges here and there because it is a complex task.
And those getting a peek, taking pictures and making memories. And the spokesperson at Public Services Procurement Canada says in terms of the phase of the construction, they are now entering full building mode as the design is now completed. Austin.
And we'll have a look at some of the other buildings in the capital participated in Doors Open Ottawa throughout the show. Natalie, thank you very much for this. Well, amid separation sentiment in Alberta and a fall referendum around the corner, federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre will deliver a speech in Calgary tomorrow. And as CTV's Jeremy Sharon reports, it will be the kickoff to his campaign to promote a unified Canada.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has been clear about where he stands.
I want a strong Alberta within a united Canada.
And Monday, he'll take that message to Calgary to deliver a keynote speech launching his campaign to promote Alberta staying within Canada. In an excerpt of his speech shared with CTV News, Poilievre has a pitch. We do not need a different country, Alberta. We need different government policies in Ottawa. The excerpt reads.
The majority of Albertans who do think that Alberta has been treated unfairly, that it doesn't get the respect for the contribution it makes to the country, And to have someone speak to that could change the minds of those who are what we call soft separatists.
The speech is expected to call for a change in government policies to address separatist concerns. The answer is not to pull away from our friends in other provinces, but to lock arms with them to make the changes we need, the excerpt goes on to say. The Carney government has signed an MOU with Alberta on a potential pipeline, but Poilievre has argued it doesn't go far enough.
Mr. Poilievre is starting to signal to both Albertans and folks in other parts of the country how a better version of federalism could benefit everybody.
Alberta is set to hold a referendum on October 19th that will include several questions, including one related to independence. Poilievre's Monday speech comes on the heels of a similar pitch from Premier Danielle Smith Friday night to a sold-out crowd of her party members.
I've always been clear that I believe in a strong and sovereign Alberta within a united Canada.
Mr. Poilievre has previously described himself as a strong Canadian federalist and a proud Albertan. Monday's speech will be the launch of what he says will be a cross-province campaign to keep Canada together. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
Taking our first look at the weather forecast, and it was a bit gray out there today, a little dull in terms of colors, but still pretty warm for a almost summer day here in the capital. 19 degrees right now. Overcast conditions. Ignore the photo attached to that because those clouds are expected to continue at least into this evening, the early evening hours, and then 10 degrees is the low tonight, and things should be clearing up. You can see the low in Trenton, 14 degrees, 9 in Bancroft, which will be one of the cooler spots along with Maniwaki and Tremblant, but not too far out of what we expect this time of year. Maniwaki and Tremblant, as you see there, both at 8 degrees. 10 in Gatineau is the low tonight, and then warming up tomorrow for a beautiful start to the work week, 27 degrees and sunny conditions expected here in the capital, 27 in Brockville as well as Gatineau, and sunshine, mostly sunny conditions pretty much everywhere you look. Well, a parent is speaking out, warning others in the Orleans area after a coyote recently attacked her son and left him injured. CTV's Kimberly Johnson has that story.
A coyote roaming a park in Orleans Saturday afternoon, just days after a 14-year-old was attacked.
He said, "You have to pick me up. I was attacked. And he says, "My leg, it's hurting."
CTV News has agreed not to identify the boy's mother, who says her son was ambushed by 3 coyotes while riding his bike along a path in the Lalonde Conservation Area around 8 o'clock Thursday night.
Coyote at the top here that just started charging at him as he was driving his bike, and then he said he was going so fast that he had like some dust behind his legs that he could see, and then 2 coyotes from the side came.
She says he threw his bike at the larger coyote to escape.
And then he took his helmet and he threw it at the smaller one, trying to get him to dislodge from his foot, but they were still going at him. So then at that point, he started to physically try, like with his hands, either by hitting and punching.
He managed to free himself. After attempts to retrieve his bike, the animals continued to howl, growl, and bark. So he escaped by sprinting in the opposite direction.
It was worrisome because, and he is a 14-year-old boy. He is 5'9", 5'10", on an adult-sized bike, and they still went at him.
Officials say coyote attacks are extremely rare. The city says it confirms it's aware of the situation and has been monitoring a coyote den in the area. Over the past few weeks, warning signs have been put up, and the city has asked residents to stay away.
It's a serious concern. We've had issues with the coyotes. We've even changed our walk to school. The kids are a little nervous about it, and we can hear them outside at night.
In this area, we've been cohabiting with coyotes, but with all the construction, we see them more here.
In a statement, Area Councillor Catherine Kitts says the incident has changed the city's approach to dealing with this coyote den. Multiple city departments are actively working together to assess the situation and develop an effective and coordinated response. The boy was treated at CHEO with wounds to his left leg.
I hope it doesn't happen elsewhere because it could be different depending on who it is as well, too.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Ottawa police say a man wanted in connection with a 2024 homicide in Little Italy has been arrested in Turkey. According to police, 31-year-old Jibril Bakal was arrested in Turkey after a biometric fingerprint check at that country's border matched him to an Interpol red notice. He was wanted for first-degree murder after 33-year-old Jama Robel was shot dead on Champaign Avenue South on January 29th of 2024. Bakal was 19th on the BOLO program's Canada's Most Wanted list. Police say he appeared in court yesterday. Well, the City of Ottawa is not ruling out potential legal action against the contractor building the Atasoke Library as the price of the project approaches $353 million. That is nearly double its original budget. PCL Construction, the contractor on the project, was supposed to be done that project in January. In a statement, the company pointed to evolving expectations, saying, quote, "As with any large complex project, evolving requirements and requests can influence construction schedules," adding, "PCL Construction remains focused on managing these impacts while maintaining both the safety of our workers and the quality of the build. A new funding request for the project will go to City Council for approval on Wednesday." Ottawa firefighters are visiting homes every Sunday this month to check and make sure that smoke and carbon monoxide alarms are part of everyone's homes. This is all part of their annual wake-up program.
Hi, how are you? I'm good. Hi, we're just here with the Ottawa Fire Services. We're doing our annual wake-up program where we go around the neighborhood just making sure that residents have working smoke alarms.
The Ontario Fire Code requires homes to have working smoke alarms on each floor and outside each sleeping area. A home that has an attached garage, wood stove, or a fuel-fired appliance is also required to have a carbon monoxide alarm outside sleeping areas and on each floor. Well, tomorrow, Louise Arbour will be sworn in as Canada's 31st Governor-General, replacing Mary Simon, who spent 5 years in that role. Arbour is a former Supreme Court Justice. She has also served as United Nations Human Rights Commissioner and Chief Prosecutor at The Hague. She made history when she became the first to indict a sitting head of state, the former Serbian president, for crimes against humanity. And you can watch our special CTV News coverage on Canada's 31st Governor-General tomorrow morning, starting at 9:30 a.m., hosted by Chief Political Correspondent Vashi Kapelos on the CTV News app and on CTV News channel. Well, turning now to the latest in the Middle East, where Iran has launched several missiles towards northern Israel in response to what it says were Israeli attacks on Lebanon. The Iranian military saying Israel must stop its attacks on Lebanon, warning it against retaliating to today's missile strikes. The Israeli military says its defense systems intercepted all Iranian missiles. Speaking at a press conference following the attacks, Israel's army spokesperson says Iran has made, quote, "a grave mistake," and that Israel will continue to strike Hezbollah in Lebanon. In a statement, the Iranian military called the missile attacks on Israel a warning against retaliation, and rather warned against retaliation, and continued Israeli attacks on Lebanon. The statement goes on to read, quote, "if aggressions are repeated, the responses will be broader." And Israeli media is reporting that U.S. President Donald Trump spoke with Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu. Earlier reports stated that Trump would hold a call with Netanyahu to urge him not to carry out a retaliatory strike against Iran. Israel says it has also closed crossings into the Gaza Strip in response to the Iranian attacks. Well, on average, 69 people in Canada get diagnosed with colorectal cancer every day. Most adults start to get screened at the age of 50, but with cases on the rise for those under 50, Ontario is dropping the age for testing. CTV's Camille reports.
Can you wear that at your recital today?
There was a time when Ashley Wiley thought she would never be able to experience moments like these with her daughters ever again after she was diagnosed with colorectal cancer last year.
My fear is not seeing my kids grow up.
Fear, but also gratitude that she caught it when she did, having just turned 41. Wiley didn't qualify in Ontario for colorectal screening, which begins at 50. So after experiencing symptoms, she pushed her doctor to get one.
Is there not another exam we could do? Should we not do, like, maybe a colonoscopy or something?
So how grateful are you then that you pushed your doctor for a colon cancer screening?
I don't even have words for that. I can't even believe where I would be right now if I didn't.
Now, on July 1st, Ontario will become the second Canadian province to lower the age eligibility for publicly funded colon cancer screening. Ontario will join PEI in having colorectal cancer screening available to those 45 years and older. The rest of Canada has that age limit set at 50. A study published this year shows lowering the age by 5 years across the country would mean 15,000 fewer cases and more than 6,000 fewer deaths in the next 40-plus years. And that has cancer groups calling for a national strategy to reduce the screening age countrywide.
I think it's very significant because we know that if we can detect cancer in an early stage, we are able to cure them with higher rates.
Ottawa has introduced a new health advisory committee it says will mark an important step in creating more evidence-informed guidelines, but hasn't committed to lowering the age. For Ashley Wiley, this bell marking the end of her treatment in November.
Try again.
A feeling that she won.
We would be looking at very different odds and in a very different scenario without that screening.
When she chose to advocate for herself. Camille, CTV News, Toronto.
It has been a month since Quebec's digital health record was rolled out, and criticism continues to grow. This time, one doctor says patient information is getting lost in the system. CTV's Sweeta Rassi has that story.
It is not only an exception, unfortunately.
Dr. Grégoire Bernache says it happens a lot. Healthcare workers order follow-up procedures like CT scans for patients. It goes into the digital system. Then, he says, it disappears.
Which is very concerning because these are often very important exams that the patient must do outside the hospital.
The platform, known as the DSN for Dossier Santé Numérique, replaces paper files, faxes, and forms, putting all of a patient's health information online. It rolled out last month in 2 regions across Quebec. The rest of the province will eventually follow. But since its launch, doctors say there have been technical issues. Health Minister Sonia Bélanger argues a new system like this will experience problems in its early stages.
On a bien implanté ça. C'est normal qu'il y ait des ajustements.
Dr. Bernache, who is also the president of the Quebec Association of Radiologists, understands that digitalization is the path forward, having been in Ontario when that province introduced a similar system. He says there were 6 months of growing pains there, but he says there are serious red flags with Quebec's program.
It's not a learning curve problem anymore. It's a software problem that needs to be addressed.
In a statement to CTV News, the CU's North Montreal writes in part, several support strategies have been implemented and are continuously being adjusted. A second health authority covering Mauricie region says, our priority is to quickly identify issues, implement necessary corrections, and support our physicians through these changes. For his part, Dr. Bernache says he hopes the current problems will serve as a wake-up call. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
Turning now to one of the biggest and tastiest celebrations of the year is York Street in the ByWard Market transforms into a shawarma lover's paradise. Shawarma Fest is back, and it's bringing dozens of vendors out, live entertainment, and thousands of hungry fans. One of those hungry fans is CTV's Josh Marano, who joins us now live on York Street with more from Shawarma Fest. Josh.
Yeah, Austin, I'm actually pretty full now. I had a whole day out here, but yeah, Shawarma Fest taking over the capital once again. Big area here in the ByWard Market for them. Obviously, you have dozens of vendors, live entertainment. We just had Zav Trudeau behind us performing not too long ago. And then here, if you can see, we got tables behind us. They're empty. Not too long ago, that was where the attempt for world record of the longest shawarma sandwich was. And I'm told by organizers that they think they got it, but they're just waiting for the official confirmation. So, of course, with all this, in Shawarma Fest comes, of course, friendly debate over who makes the best shawarma in the city. It's a taste and smell Ottawa residents are very familiar with, as the ByWard Market turns into Shawarma Fest.
Everything tastes amazing.
Among the thousands stopping by, 12-year-old Maxwell Duval, better known to his friends as the Shawarma Kid.
Always talk about shawarma, and it's my favorite food. I like only eat shawarma.
Duval is a self-proclaimed shawarma connoisseur and says the festival only means one thing, trying as many shops as he can.
It's like paradise. Like, there's shawarma shops everywhere. It's lots of fun.
On top of all the sampling,
when people believe in our concept and come to support the food, the culture, the project in general, that shows how strong our community is.
An attempt for the longest shawarma sandwich assembled, constructing, according to organizers, over 1,100 feet of the iconic wrap.
We're going to beat that record. I'm telling you from now.
Others focused on familiar favorites.
I had some, and I'm still waiting from Shawarma Palace to be ready because it's my favorite spot.
Dozens of vendors setting up shop, including Charbel Khoury with Bustan coming in from Montreal to celebrate.
The shawarma this year has been known as the #1 sandwich worldwide, and nobody does it better than this right here.
The ultimate celebration of flavor.
CTV's Stefan Keys hosting the event, which included a judge's taste test, awarding Bustan as the #1 shawarma.
It's nice to see this cultural event just grow in size and, of course, go after the world record attempt.
And as the lines kept moving, the Shawarma Kid staying locked in on his mission.
I'm going to try out a couple different places, and then I'm probably going to go home and tell my friends about this.
So those wraps that were on the table in the report actually tripled. There was 3 rows of wraps on the table, and all those wraps right now are currently being donated to Shepherds of Good Hope. So obviously it's a lot of wraps to just sit around, but we have the Shawarma Kid. We have the shawarma reporter now. This is Bustan, the winning wrap of the day. I got a mix here because they're actually almost all sold out. So I'm going to have a bite. That was too big of a bite. I'm not going to be able to talk. Awesome.
Hey,
Go back to you.
Your
so
mouth's full and everything, buddy. Look, you got the shawarma wrap, the reporter. I wish I was a shawarma anchor out here, but someone didn't grab me one when they were down there. But either way, Josh, thank you for your reporting. Really appreciate it. That's CTV's Josh Marano, live for us at Shawarma Fest.
It's like such a good event to have ducks in Manotick.
It is. Off to the races for these rubber ducks. We take you to Manotick for the Great Mill Duck Drop when we come back. Before the break, there's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is 19 degrees. Laurier House commemorates 2 of Canada's most notable prime ministers, Sir Wilfrid Laurier and the Right Honourable William Lyon Mackenzie King. For over 50 years, the House occupied a central position in the political life of Canada. It was open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. this weekend as part of Doors Open Ottawa. Well, some rubber ducks in Manotick were put to the test today in a new community fundraiser supporting the preservation efforts underway to keep that rich history alive at Watson's Mill. And CTV's Camille Wilson was at the event today. She's back to tell us all about it. Camille.
Well, Austin, imagine 2,000 rubber ducks going racing down the Rideau River. Well, that was the scene in Manotick this afternoon as they set sail to support the iconic Watson's Mill.
Thousands gathering in Manotick to get their ducks in a row.
I'm feeling so excited. I can't wait to watch it.
For Sarah Grandinetti and her family, ducks are already their thing.
We love ducks to begin with. Obviously, as you can see, we do these for cheer competitions.
I'm in cheerleading, and we do the lucky duck thing. So a lot of people use gems and they bedazzle their ducks.
The first annual Great Mill Duck Drop saw 2,000 ducks take a swim, raising money for Watson's Mill.
The City of Ottawa is divesting the 2 buildings on the other side of the road from the mill, and we are going to take ownership of them. So their care now is set with us for the future. We've had to come up with some ideas to generate some a bigger income for us annually.
Each duck entered in the race has a number on the bottom, matching the number for a ticket holder, everyone waiting for their duck to reach the finish line. The top 3 finishers taking home a cash prize, with first place at just over $1,000.
We found out that our duck is a lucky number, so we're hoping. We're fingers crossed.
We could be a winner. That's what we're hoping for.
I hope my friends win.
And the community came all ducked out.
We just wanted to join in the fun.
Including the Ottawa Jeep Club with a positive message.
Jeeps go with ducks. So I thought it was fitting. I got in contact with them.
One day she just put little rubber duckies on people's Jeeps and said, "Nice Jeep, I hope this brightens your day." And it just went from there. So it's all just about feeling good and making people feel happy.
As for the Grandinettis, they hope this inaugural event returns.
It's also fun because it's like a new thing coming to Manotick, and if it goes well, it will become like a tradition or something for Manotick.
We're really excited for this to become a tradition in Manotick, and we hope that it grows every year.
After selling out all 2,000 duck tickets, organizers say there will be an increase in duck count for next year as it's expected to grow. A full event for ducks, who knew Austin, but it was ducking awesome. Austin.
Okay, and I believe it. CTV's Camille Wilson reporting live for us tonight. Camille, thank you very much for this. And pretty nice weather for them as well. I mentioned off the top of the show, but some cloud coverage today. Not too bad, though. Again, sticking around the 20-degree mark. Another look at the weather forecast. And that cloud made for, well, it was a bit humid out there, let's just say. Not so much the clouds making it humid, but a little bit humid. Not as bad as we've seen at some point in the past. Nice day to still be outside biking or walking the dog, and a lot of people took advantage of the milder weather because it is going to be warming up. As we take a look at the satellite radar, that cloud dissipating as we make our way into the evening, and we are expecting a clear night. More on that in just a moment. 5 degrees right now in St. John's, and a thick blanket of fog, thick as pea soup, as they say out there. 7 degrees in Charlottetown with some rain in Halifax as well at 12 degrees. It's 21 right now in Ottawa, 23 in Toronto, and 25 degrees in Sudbury, 25 as well in Timmins. Beautiful clear conditions there. We will be getting clear conditions shortly. Look at Winnipeg. That's the hot spot in the country, 33 degrees with mostly cloudy conditions. It's a scorcher out in Winnipeg right now, and a stark contrast in Edmonton and in Calgary at 11 degrees apiece, 17 right now, mostly cloudy in Vancouver. So we're getting down to 10 degrees tonight. Again, as I mentioned, those conditions will be clearing, and that will stick around for tomorrow afternoon when we get up to 27 degrees. It's a similar story in the Ottawa Valley, albeit 1 degree cooler for tomorrow afternoon at 26. And then for the Seaway, 26 is the expected high by tomorrow afternoon as well. Calm wind. That's the story for much of the region. The 7-day forecast shows that our highest high in the next 7 days will be on Tuesday and on Friday, getting to and eclipsing the 30-degree mark, which by my count will be, just the second time this season that we will get that warm. So again, 21 degrees today, we'll take it, especially if you don't have air conditioning, because it's going to be quite warm for the next week. And we do have a chance of rain rolling in on Wednesday, sticking around through Friday, and possibly returning next weekend. But 27 degrees to start the work week, 31 on Tuesday. It's going to be hot. It was an incredible display of support and community love at the 43rd annual CHEO telethon right here at CTV Ottawa this weekend. It was tons of fun, and CTV's Natalie Van Rooy has a recap.
Lights, camera, action as the CHEO telethon takes over the CTV Ottawa studios. A colorful display of support for children and their families that rely on advanced treatments at the hospital, like 10-year-old Charlie.
CHEO means a lot to me. They've done a lot for us and did a lot of stuff for me that I'm really grateful for.
3, 2, 1, and start the clock. So at this point, moving forward.
It's donations raised here that helped to save her life while battling cancer.
All the donations from years prior to this saved my daughter's life. I hope it helps other families when they're going through this too, to see even all the people who donate. Hope it helps with donations.
The phone lines open as donations poured in during the 3-hour broadcast. CTV Ottawa anchor Patricia Bull hosting.
This is one of our favorite days of the year, the CHEO telethon. It is a wonderful event to see the support in the community and to meet some of these incredible families, and this year was no exception. It was really one of my favorite telethons, I think, today.
The telethon showcasing 6 children and their families sharing their journeys and triumphs at CHEO.
It's such an important day for us to get a chance to tell some stories and bring the community behind the scenes and see the impact of their giving.
Donations will help patients and build a new integrated treatment center.
You can see the physical improvements in the spaces that we're building at CHEO, really showing as our population grows and the complexity of care grows, we need to grow our spaces, and that's happening.
CTV personalities keeping the energy high as the kids take it all in. More than $600,000 raised over a 2-week campaign for the CHEO Hospital. Natalie Van Rooy, CTV News.
I'm feeling nervous and excited.
Still ahead, a highly anticipated annual event sees young women and girls explore life in aviation. All things Canadian currency open for all to see at the Royal Canadian Mint this weekend. People were invited to come by for free self-guided tours throughout the weekend with no registration required, all part of Doors Open Ottawa. Well, for young women and girls, a lot of them took new heights today at the Canada Aviation and Space Museum, an organization of female pilots offering free flights, hoping to encourage the next generation to get up in the air. CTV's Kimberly Johnson has that story.
Climbing into her seat brings a range of emotions for Navia Kumar.
I'm feeling nervous and excited.
It's her first flight in a small aircraft. The trip and the chance to see the Ottawa sights from the sky is an unforgettable experience.
I was like really high up, so it was just too exciting for me.
This is a very good opportunity for any girl to experience at this age. What's in her, we don't know, right? So it's a good opportunity for her to explore.
The 99's Eastern Ontario chapter is hosting its annual Girls Take Flight event at the Canada Aviation and Space Museum.
I really want to be a pilot so I can help people. Being up inside of the air and seeing all of the cars and all of the buildings.
Geared to young women who have never flown in a small aircraft before, the event hopes to encourage them to consider a career in aviation or obtain their personal pilot's license.
They've never been on any flights before, and I think this is just such a great opportunity. There's very little women pilots out there, so hopefully this will help educate them a little bit more.
This is where we really light that spark.
The 99 say roughly 6% of commercial pilots around the world are women. And it's not just pilots. Careers in aviation include engineers and air traffic controllers.
There's that expression, if you can see it, you can be it. And I think that introducing younger girls, perhaps in grade school, to the possibilities in aviation, they're more likely to seek out that.
Inside the museum, organizations like the Northern Lights Aero Foundation, which provides awards and scholarships to women in aviation, are there to help show what's possible.
My first flight in a small airplane completely got me hooked. So it's wonderful to see young girls come out and get to experience this.
Kind of want to be it now. Maybe it's my passion.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Turning now to some of the other stories that you need to know. Another big name is leaving the Ottawa Charge to join one of the league's newest clubs in Hamilton.
Here to keep their home win streak alive.
30-year-old forward and one of Ottawa's 3 foundational players, Emily Clark, is off to the hammer. In 84 regular season games with Ottawa, Clark recorded 43 points. She is the highest paid player in the PWHL, earning an annual base salary of just over $126,000 US per year. And she joins former Charge captain Brianne Jenner in Hamilton.
That got stopped by Slavin. Theodore drive off the back wall, knocked in. Vegas wins in double overtime.
An historic evening in Las Vegas last night with the Golden Knights taking down Carolina in double overtime. Carolina was down 4-0 at one point before mounting a comeback, including 3 goals in just 39 seconds. That is an NHL record for the Stanley Cup final. Vegas is now up 2-1 with Game 4 set for Tuesday night.
We have over 20 pieces of equipment from all of our different public works departments, and it's really a time for our residents to come out, see the equipment, talk to our operators. Obviously, the kids love these events. They can get up in the trucks, get a feel for them.
Some of Ottawa's biggest machines on display at the Ottawa Stadium this morning for the Public Works Big Wheels Expo. This is a Doors Open event aimed at showing families how city crews operate.
Bear takes the snap, hands it off, and a boy drives the legs. Touchdown for the Canadian, the first.
Still ahead, a new year for the Ottawa Redblacks, hosting their season opener this weekend. We'll have a recap when we come back.
We don't hover it over artifacts, we actually just plot it in different places.
Doors Open Ottawa offering an opportunity to explore behind the scenes at the Ingenium Center, home to Canada's largest and most comprehensive museum collection devoted to science and technology. With more than 150,000 collected items, including locomotives, tractors, seeds, components of nuclear technology, and everyday household artifacts, as well as more than 100,000 library items, such as books and historic photographs. Well, in case you missed it this week, this stretch of summer weather we've been feeling is probably making a lot of people want to take a dip in a pool, or how about the Ottawa River? Well, soon that will be possible. The National Capital Commission is set to open 2 new public swimming docks. One will be in Gatineau along the shore near the Canadian Museum of History. The other right across the river on the Ottawa side at the East Wharf, just steps from the base of the downtown Rideau Canal locks. CTV's Tyler Fleming has the details.
Along the shores of the Ottawa River at the Museum of History in Gatineau, there is a park.
I like it's quiet. A nice view.
Overlooking Parliament. For Andre Ciliano, it's a little slice of cottage life in the heart of the nation's capital. Now, by Canada Day, a big floating dock will be installed, complete with chairs and a marked-off swimming zone for anyone looking to relax, catch some rays, or...
When I walk or bike, I can have a dip.
The National Capital Commission is expanding swimming access around the region, and this will be the location of one of the 2 new docks. The other right across the river at the East Wharf, just steps from the Rideau Canal locks in downtown Ottawa.
Yeah, I live in the market.
Colin Churcher enjoys his strolls along here and is excited for the new swim hole and rest area. This one set to open mid-June.
It's easily accessible by both bike and walking. As I say, I'm getting on there. I'm in my 80s now, but I can still get down here, and it's fun.
The new docks build on 2 other popular spots, the NCC River House and Dow's Lake.
Last summer when Dow's Lake opened, I was one of the first to jump in and give it a try. No dock here, but I will dip my toes. Yeah, that's nice. It's refreshing.
Swimming at all locations will be unsupervised, but life jacket rentals will be available at some docks.
It's important to recognize that not everybody has a backyard or a balcony, and people want outdoor space and places to go to. So we're creating that opportunity.
The NCC says the waterfront getaways are giving people a new way to connect with nature and the region's waterways. And for Lauren Newell, the idea has already made a splash.
I don't have a car, so it's really hard to get out to Gatineau Park, so this is the next best thing.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
Well, the wet and rainy conditions, they didn't stop CFL fans from showing up for the Ottawa Redblacks home opener just last night. Thousands packing Lansdowne despite a soggy evening, and as CTV's Josh Marano tells us, the entire fan base is bringing energy to TD Place.
The ponchos were out, the umbrellas were up, but the rain didn't keep Jeffrey Marshall away from kicking off another Ottawa Redblacks season.
We've been through them all. Yeah. Snowstorm, rainstorm, windstorm, wind shears. We're still standing. We're swimming home.
Forecasts calling for up to 15 millimeters of rain Saturday, something fans say they haven't experienced during a home opener.
This is the first time where game time comes with a storm.
Sooner have a June rain than a November rain.
We've obviously made a lot of changes, new coaching staff,
A lot of new free agents brought in, and the roster's been turned over. So we're really excited about the year ahead.
Everyone hoping to improve on last year, especially with some new faces on the team, including former Toronto Argonauts head coach Ryan Dinwiddie at the helm.
I really think they have a good shot this year. If they go to the Grey Cup, I'll fly to Calgary, not drive, but I'm expecting them, if not this year, maybe in Saskatchewan in 2 years.
The crowd also providing a welcome boost for businesses in the glebe, with fans looking to keep dry before heading in.
The fans are very excited, and we're excited, and we're seeing it by even the preseason game last week was good, and now even with this one's good.
Having a new coach has intrigued me a little bit more, and I think this is going to be a successful year, more than the last 5-6 years that we've had.
It was also the first game day look at Lansdowne, with construction on the 2.0 project continuing in the background.
We're far more concerned about what happens next year when the north side stands come down. For us this year, we don't see any big changes other than a little bit of inconvenience.
Despite the fencing, detours, and downpour, Marshall says no matter the weather, he's here to cheer on his favorite team.
The receiving core looks good. The O-line looks awesome. Defense has been rebuilt. We're expecting a lot of excitement tonight.
Josh Marano, CTV News.
And after the rain let up, for enough at least for the action to start on the field, the Redblacks kicking off their 2026 campaign against the Edmonton Elks.
Bear takes the snap, hands it off, out of a boy who drives the legs. Touchdown for the Canadian, the first points for the Redblacks in 2026.
A 1-yard rushing touchdown to get on the score sheet for the Redblacks. It was the first points of the season for the Redblacks, but the 13-point deficit was too much to overcome against the Elks. 29-21 is your final. The Redblacks lose, and they have a bye week in week 2. Then they'll be back at it for week 3 when the Toronto Argonauts visit TD Place.
I don't know, it's like any other marriage except it's longer.
Still ahead, an Ontario couple celebrating a rare milestone. We'll have that story after the break. We saw some lineups this weekend to get into the Supreme Court of Canada building, which also took part in Doors Open festivities. Guided tours wrapped up at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Well, a couple in Timmins, Ontario is celebrating their 80th wedding anniversary. Raymond and Teresa Taylor are 99 and 98 years old, respectively, and they still live in their own home. CTV's Lydia Chubak has that story.
Raymond and Teresa Taylor arrived at their 80th wedding anniversary party in their 1948 Plymouth. The couple was then piped into the hall and were greeted by family and friends.
At first, my dad said, well, at 98 and 99, all our friends are gone. I said, oh, you've got lots of people who love you and care for you. There'll be lots of people to come. So he said, okay, let's do another party.
The Taylors were married on June 5th, 1946 in Timmins.
I don't know, it's like any other marriage except it's longer. That's about all I can say. It's been a good marriage. We have 7 kids. And I think it's 22 grandchildren. So it's been quite productive.
He was a good man. A good father and a real good husband. Good man. Get bad at him sometimes, but I'm the boss and he's the boss. There's 2 bosses.
Congratulatory certificates also arrived in time from numerous politicians, including letters from Pope Leo XIV and King Charles III.
That's pretty cool.
A clean, simple life filled with love and faith is what we always get and what we feel from them as well all the time.
I just love the way they respect other people, and people should respect them because they've been, they lead by example, and they're just wonderful, wonderful, genuine people.
Raymond worked 44 years driving a truck for Brewers Warehousing, and Teresa started off as a telephone operator and also sold Tupperware. They continue to live in their own home, which they built, and where they raised their family. All but one of their children still live in Timmins. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
after the break, we will head to Florida for a look at the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series. There's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is 19 degrees.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Welcome back. We want to take one last look at the weather forecast, and spoiler alert, it is going to be sweltering hot a couple of times over the next 7 days, waking up to 13 degrees en route to our daytime high of 27 with nothing but sunshine, and then warming up to 31 degrees on Tuesday with the sun pounding down. It's going to be a sunscreen and shorts kind of day for sure. And then the rain will creep in, 40% chance of showers on Wednesday, 30% on Thursday. Same goes for Friday with another high of 31 degrees, and then 30 degrees to kick off next weekend is expected on Saturday with a mix of sun and clouds. Well, finally for us tonight, they twist, turn, and cut through the air at unbelievable speeds and from heart-stopping heights. Americans James Lichtenstein and Kaylee Arnett, they earned surprise wins at the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series in St. Petersburg, Florida just yesterday. Both dived off a manufactured platform reaching heights of 27 meters. That is, for anyone who is curious, 89 feet. And they hit the water with 2 to 3 times the force of gravity. Plus, they did all those twists and turns, all the spins and tricks. Good for them. Couldn't be me. Good night, everybody.